Larry is almost a hurricane and Ida is still drenching New England. Hello, I'm Mike Naso with this video update on the tropics. It's about 11:30 on the night of Wednesday, September 1st, and the tropics seem to be a little bit quieter. We still have some systems out there, but we're still reeling from our Category 4 landfall on the Gulf Coast a couple of days ago. There's the satellite imagery of the Atlantic, and you can see our systems here. We have what's left of Ida over areas of New Jersey, moving out of Pennsylvania finally, but a lot of power outages and flooding rains and just a bad situation. Now most of those thunderstorms over New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. And you can see the rest of the tropics is very quiet. However, this is Larry, and Larry is almost a hurricane, forecast to be a very powerful, dangerous major hurricane, a Category 3 at least. However, it should take a track something like this eventually. But if you're in Bermuda, you need to watch it, and it's still early. We're going to keep an eye on it. I'll talk about Larry. Here's the latest on Larry as of 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. It was at 12.8 north, 30.9 west, winds of 70, so it is almost a hurricane. It looked like it was going to become one really quick, and then it kind of sputtered this evening. It's moving west at 21. That should become west-northwest, and then eventually northwest. And Bermuda, I mean, it's still 7, 8 days away from you at least. This is going to be a very classic, long-tracked Cape Verde hurricane. The islands over here, these waves move off, become hurricanes very quickly. Have we ever had them make it across? Of course, Hurricane Irma in 2017 in the Florida Keys and Marco Island, that started way over here and it took a track up and then it went down into the Caribbean and came back up. However, with this one, I don't think we're going to have any problems with that, although the track will allow it to become a major hurricane, at least a Category 3. So there's Larry. Everybody say hi to Larry. Larry's new. Look at this eye that's developing here. It looked like it was closed off more earlier and then it sputtered at the beginning there. However, this band is pretty intense, and so it's still mixing out. It looks like maybe a little dry air in there between the bands, but once it pops this inner core pretty tight, we should see it become a Category 1, 2, then a 3 as it moves towards the west-northwest. Far out there in the Atlantic. I mean, here's one of the Cape Verde Islands here. Very, very far eastern Atlantic, well away from the Caribbean Sea, at least at this point in time. There's the computer models. You could see they take it. I mean, even if you look at some of the ensembles, the furthest west some of them take it is still way out here in the middle of nowhere, although that would imply a threat to Bermuda. I think Bermuda is going to have to watch it, but there is a good opportunity that this might turn and be what we call a fish storm. A fish is in the ocean out at sea, not bothering anybody. And so if it is a fish, it'll be a pretty hurricane to look at, but other than dangerous high swells, we shouldn't have any direct impacts. Ida did her damage. You could see there's a lot of lightning here that was over Jersey, now over Long Island and areas there of Connecticut. Again, it's moving on out finally after dumping copious amounts of rainfall. Here's the radar from the entire United States, and you can still see that rain shield now going from areas of Albany and Philadelphia right across Jersey, Long Island, all the way into Cape Cod and areas of Maine. So again, a very wet weekend there. For the rest of the weekend, it should be getting better as we see Ida move out. But it's been a wet week as our hurricane slammed in and then took that track like that right on off the eastern seaboard. The rainfall over the next 24 hours, still prolific here. I mean, you're talking 4, 5, 6 inches in areas of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. This will spread up towards Nova Scotia, so it's going to be very, very wet, to say nothing of the power outages. Look at that. We've got areas here in the Northeast affected with power outages, but look at down here on the Gulf Coast. I want to zoom in on our friends in Louisiana, and you can see it's still so bad for them. Oh, look at these outages. I mean, 27,000 people, 42,000, 21,000, 12,000, 169,000 in New Orleans. Southeastern Louisiana has been devastated by this Category 4 hurricane. And I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the media is covering it, but not the way I thought they might. For those areas that are not downtown New Orleans, they were really wrecked. I've spoken to people down there that said they expect to be without power for weeks. And in that heat, Oh, horrible. So it's a lot of damage, a lot of houses destroyed, a lot of surge flooding, a lot of power outages. They really, really got hit hard. Now, if we look at the Atlantic over the next couple of, say, 7 to 10 days, you can see Larry there is expected to be a prolific, long-tracked major hurricane and then head on up and out. But by September 11th, about 240 hours from now, there's not a whole heck of a lot other than that. We could have the potential for a Western Gulf or a Caribbean little tropical storm spin up. That is a potential here. We're going to watch this area. But other than that, with Ida out and Larry the focus, we shouldn't have anything until mid-September, although after Larry, we could have another system leaving Africa. The wave train is on. So again, just because we had our big Category 4 August hurricane doesn't mean the season's over. I remember back in 1998, Hurricane George devastated the islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Cuba, the Keys, and Biloxi. And George developed, I think, around September 14th or so. And it was out here off Africa. We've had many storms do that, and we also have late season storms in the Caribbean. So we're going to watch the tropics. Again, we're just getting into the thick of it, and we're still about 10 days away from the climatological peak of hurricane season. But that'll do it right now. You can see the tropics still busy, but not as crazy as they were, with Larry there strengthening in the eastern Atlantic and Ida finally dragging what's left of her corpse off the east coast. I'm Mike Nasel with the latest on the tropics, and I'll talk to you guys next time.